Well, good afternoon, everyone. How's lunch? Good? Okay, it looked good. I'll see if I can grab some here as soon as we wrap up this. Every year, we do give an annual update with respect to how the organization is doing and try to inform our members of what our initiatives were this year, in the past year, and a little bit of insight as to what may be coming up. And I'm very proud to say that the AOCA is 70 years strong. In 1952, the American Osteopathic Association approved the establishment of this organization. It was a little bit of, there was another organization, the ASOA, that was initiated, but it became a college in 1952. And in 1953 was the first meeting of the college, the AOCA. So we're 70 years strong, and we're celebrating just all of the accomplishments that this organization has had over the years. This is an active and healthy year for the AOCA and for the membership. And I just want to express my gratitude because I think I've been involved with this institution now for, I don't know, when did I start? When I was a medical student. But I've been on the Board of Governors now for 8 years, and this is by far the year where I saw the members engage on committees and truly begin, and truly just in record numbers, provide input and help us direct this organization. And because it's your organization, you as the members, you are the individuals who drive what's important for this organization to consider. So we appreciate that, and I think it was just outstanding. A few years ago, the board worked very hard to create a mission and vision statement. And I will just say that every initiative that we consider as a board is under the umbrella of what's on these mission and vision statements. It's very common, to come up with an ideal or initiative, but you have to be able to say this works with the direction that the organization has said it will go and is going. So these mission and vision statements are on our website. You can visualize them here. These are very important as we consider where the organization is currently trying to direct its efforts. One of the things that we looked at this year was a value-added proposition, and that was a statement regarding osteopathic anesthesiology. One of our previous board members, Dr. Martin Lasky, had started this, and Dr. O'Connor and Dr. Griffin took on a fair amount of the effort to continue to sort of define and create some type of statement regarding what osteopathic anesthesiologists, and I say what do with the D, a bit of a pun there, what do osteopathic anesthesiologists bring to the head of the table? So this is available for you to look at and review, but it is a bit of a statement regarding how we interact and are involved with respect to osteopathy and osteopathic medicine. Well, I mentioned that the AOC membership has been very engaged with their organization this year, and I wanted to just share a few slides here and charts regarding who we are as an organization. We can see our generational member profile. We can see that we're about 25% baby boomers. We're about 27% Generation X members, and you can see our millennial members have been growing along with our Generation Z. It is something that we've noted, and I think our member engagement committee has done an excellent job of reminding us of this, that 25% of our members are thought to go into retirement in the next 5 years, and about a total of 33% potentially retiring in 10 years. And with that knowledge, it's important as a community that we continue to reach out and be sure that our younger colleagues are joining us and being engaged with the organization. Who are we from a gender demographics? We can see that we're approximately just over 1/3 women and just under 2/3 of men. I know everyone would like to see equal, and that would be wonderful, but this actually does parallel the national entry into the specialty of anesthesiology. So I'm very comfortable seeing these numbers, and I have to say that it is something that I'm very proud of, that we're seeing our my women colleagues coming up and potentially in leadership and have extremely strong representation among the Board of Governors and within our committees, so we're very grateful for that. Practice profiles, we have a little bit of everything. We have a fair number of individuals who are in academia, although it's not our majority. We have a fair number of individuals who consider themselves mostly ambulatory surgery centers and maybe combined with hospital work. And then those that are focused mostly on hospital work are 45% of our members. Membership renewal trends, and this was really something that we were working hard on this year, trying to improve our membership renewals, and I'm very happy to say that we were successful with that. If you can see that we've added an additional 50 new active members, and I must say the Member Engagement Committee did an excellent job, Grace Liu leading that, really to build and help improve our membership and our membership renewals. For the first year, we had a 96% active renewal rate. We've historically ran in the 80s for the last few years, so that's a great accomplishment by our committee and all of the work that they did. Well, we wanted to celebrate the fact that it was 70 years of the AOCA, and the board thought very long and hard and somewhat strategically as to how we should celebrate. Should we have a big party here? Well, we're like, well, that would be awesome, but not everyone can attend that. So how can we ensure that every member of the AOCA who supported their organization has a chance to benefit and celebrate with us? So strategically, we decreased our membership dues for this year, and we did it out of recognition of member loyalty. We also wanted to retain. We were extremely successful at that with a 96% renewal rate, and we also wanted to attain and acquire new members, and we were. We see 51 new active members joining our organization. But it's not just joining the organization that's important. You have to actually provide value as an organization to individuals to have them engage and stay with you. I always say loyalty only lasts so long, and others will remind me that I often quote that loyalty gives you about 3 laps around the sun, and then individuals begin to ask for value. So our Member Engagement Committee, along with the Board of Governors, worked to really develop and I would say fine-tune our value proposition. We've had those in the past, but we want to continue to modify our value proposition, because value propositions are just simply what value you bring at the moment. And I know this is wordy, and this is available, will be available on our website, but the key takeaways are 3 things: quality education, a committed community, and an evolving career, and being able to provide the value in these 3 areas. And I think these 3 areas very much go hand in hand. If you have quality education, you have a chance for that committed community, especially if individuals are attending your meeting and engaging with your organization, with the college, with each other. Oftentimes it's done at events such as this, where you're in person. The evolving career also goes hand in hand with much of what we do in education, in that individuals who are perhaps wanting to develop their CVs or go for promotion or whatever, they are participating as our presenters at our quality education. Or if you just want to develop as an anesthesiologist, update your clinical skills, maybe develop some leadership components to your own knowledge base. This is a great place for that. So everything sort of goes hand in hand and works together in unity, and that's where you want to be as a society. Just a quick summary of what we did with our educational offerings. We can see here at our mid-year meeting attendance, and I'll break down in a moment the on-demand versus the in-person attendance, but just so you can see the amount of engagement that we've had. We've seen a relatively steady uptrend of engagement until last year. Now, I will say, just realized 2022, coming up to the end of the cycle, and we often see more people involved as we hit the end of that 3rd year education requirement cycle. So that's very standard for sort of our long-term attendance and engagement. Annual convention, we can see a little bit of kind of up and down, and still robust, and not quite where I anticipate the 2023 numbers are still going to go up, because that doesn't include all of those who may be participating in the on-demand component. What about on-demand versus in-person? And then I apologize that this slide is a little bit incomplete, but let me just talk you through it. The green represent the mid-year, the gray and the yellow represent the annual. In some years, we've only had a in-person. It's like in 2020, the mid-year meeting, the green, that was in-person, and then we went to an on-demand for the annual. So 100% of individuals were in the yellow there. In 2021, I'm missing the bar here, but for the annual, the gray bar, it was actually relatively low. We had about only 100 people who attended in person, but we had a very robust online presence. And we've sort of seen that we're sitting, we've seen a little bit of uptrend in the number of people attending our annual meeting in person. We're seeing a little bit of sort of stalling out of, or just at least stable numbers with those who are attending in the light green, the mid-year in person. So just some things that we've been thinking about, and as we're trying to meet the needs and what our members truly would like with respect to obtaining CME. We have seen an amazing amount of engagement and wonderful feedback with our Second Sundays, which is our monthly AOCA webinars. There's a variety of topics that we've covered, and it's complimentary for 10 hours of AOA Level 1 CME to our online, to our members. And I had the numbers pulled. 291 individuals registered to attend these monthly seminars throughout the year. And not everyone was there live. I would say on a Sunday afternoon, we'd see about 60, sometimes 75, 80 individuals. And then others would engage later or offline. But it was it's been a very dynamic and very nice addition, I think, to our organization. 2024 has showing a bit of a change, and we will be looking at a virtual mid-year. We're very grateful for the loyalty of those who have been engaged in our mid-year seminars. When we looked as a board and as the Finance and Budget Committee, one of our concerns is that we were seeing increasing increases and increasing expenses for that meeting that just financially caused a bit of a burden for the organization. So we decided to pause for a moment, but we wanted to be sure our members could could still obtain their CME at a competitive cost. So the decision was made to move to a virtual for 2024, and then led by Dr. Ursula Landman and her analysis, we're going to restart our mid-year in 2025 in Austin, Texas. So we're looking to have a very enjoyable and educational experience there. Committed community is another one of our value propositions, and we were engaged and involved this year with respect to our advocacy committee. I'm very grateful to those individuals who vet a fair number of the letters and the asks that come through for the organization to see if we're interested in supporting and joining with other national organizations and affiliates of the AOA on certain things. We can see there were several sign-on letters. And then once again this year, we sent an AOCA representative to the ASA legislative session and allowed to represent our organization there and also interact with lawmakers and representing what's important to us and to the profession. Final component of our evolving career is, our final component of our value proposition is evolving career. So we can see here that there were sort of 4 things that I wanted to highlight that we did this year. We've had wonderful professional development content, not only just from your educational, your clinical updates, but also how to be a better leader, well-being, all the things that are practice management, all those things that are important to you as an anesthesiologist and developing and becoming and maintaining the professionalism that you desire. We saw a record number of new fellows of the college this year, and we're very grateful for that, and we are glad those individuals are plugged in and engaged and plan to keep them working and contributing to our college. We added an inclusion, we included a resident and medical student member of the Board of Governors. I'll just say, as a member of the Board of Governors, this has been so helpful because oftentimes we sort of think in a silo because we know what's important to us, and maybe even what was important to us when we were a younger member or training. It's very nice to be able to look over to someone and say, you're a resident, help us understand. What do you and your colleagues find important? Same thing with medical students. So we've been very grateful for those who have been willing to volunteer their time in that position. We also had medical student development opportunities and even outreaches. We had a representation. We attended ASA as an organization, and many of us were there already, but we had an ability to reach out and get to know a number of medical students and residents, Also attended the Midwest Anesthesia Residents Conference as an organization reaching out. Had a chance to interact with about 200 medical students and osteopathic residents there. So really trying to help strengthen our emerging professionals. And this is why, with the merger between the ACGME and the OCGME, we have seen a slight downward trend in the number of DO medical students who are matching in anesthesiology. And anesthesiology is one of the most competitive, it was in the top 5 of competitive fields this year. It was very, very difficult to obtain a position. And so we want to do the very best to ensure that our medical students are prepared, understand how competitive this is, and that they can be successful. If you had a chance to stick your head in the emerging professional program, yesterday I think we had about 45 or 50 medical students there, and we're able to try to give them some tools, not only to just be successful as physicians and anesthesiologists, but also to be successful in their pursuit of a anesthesiology residency. So wrapping up, I just want to say we are 70 years strong. We have currently 18 months of our operating expenses in a reserve fund. And this is, first I will say it's to the credit of the leadership in the organization of the years past who have been very wise with the way money is utilized in this organization. And it is, it's unheard of in most associations, most colleges, societies, etc. On average, a society has around 6 to 8 months of operational expenses set aside in a reserve, but we're doing very well, and we're very pleased to have that. We did invest and will continue to invest in our members and growing the organization. We saw our 1-year decrease in our membership dues. We saw increase in our reaching out and being able to market our organization to others and be able to see some increase in our active membership. We've worked really hard to stabilize our operating expenses to be sure that our operations match what the organization needs, the college needs, what you need, and to not exceed that, and to review and customize and negotiate our work plans to maintain a financial stability of the organization. And we've worked extremely hard to preserve our educational offerings and be fiduciarily responsible with those offerings. So just sort of a quick high-level overview that provided by the Finance and Budget Committee. You can see here that we've had some variation in our revenue. We can see that in 2020 because of our virtual meeting, because of some insurance payouts. We actually did see a very large revenue, but we can see our revenue is sort of staying where we would expect it to be. We saw a little bit of decrease this year, but that's because we planned that. We planned that when we gave back to our members with a decreased membership requirement or our cost. Definitely saw a little bit of dip in our revenue. But we've been able to keep our expenses, even with inflation. We've worked very hard to keep our operational expenses as trim as possible. Our mid-year meeting, you can see that there's a little bit of variation with that, and we saw that even with the best of our negotiations, our expenses were trending upward, which was really not what we wanted to see. Our annual conference, though, we were able to work very aggressively with our hotels and our venues and our different support systems that we have for the organization. We've been able to sort of keep that in the direction that we'd like to see that. So the goal of this organization, and any organization such as this, is not to make money. But what it is to see is over 5 years that you maintain a very strong financial profile. And although this year, which we anticipated because we reinvested in our organization, we see a little bit of in the red, but over 5 years we are by far very financially in the direction that we want to be. So I think it's a great state to be in, and I feel like I can say that very much we're 70 years strong, and looking forward to the next 70 years of this organization, and in a very good position to be able to maintain that. So I want to just end by saying it's been wonderful this year to be the president of this organization. I am going to be around. I fully intend to maintain my engagement, but I look forward to allowing other individuals to support and provide their expertise in leadership. And I want to say thank you to everyone for this opportunity, and just thank you for creating and maintaining and supporting such a wonderful organization. I mean, this is your organization, and the AOCA has been so influential in my life, and so such a positive influence that it's a wonderful organization to be involved in, and I look forward to it maintaining and being present and allowing others to participate. So thank you so much. We have a few minutes. I'll open the floor and ask if there are any questions. Okay, we'll not see any questions. If you have anything, happy to talk offline also. Any of the Board of Governors members would be happy to sort of walk you through or talk you through where the organization has gone and where we hope to go. And please give us some thoughts, and we'd love to hear from you. With that said, Jim, you have a thought?
We need all of that to keep our college running the way we want to. So if anybody has any interest in serving on a committee, please reach out to me. Excuse me. Getting all choked up here for some reason. Please reach out to me and let me know what your interests are. We'll try and pay with that accordingly. Thank you.
With that said, there may be time for seconds for lunch, and we will plan to rejoin here at 12:30, where we have our national societies provide their updates. So thank you so much, and enjoy your afternoon.